In a world where innovation never sleeps and personal defense continues to evolve, one question dominates the minds of firearm enthusiasts everywhere. What's the best concealed carry gun for 2025? Every year, manufacturers push boundaries, making pistols smaller, lighter, and more powerful than ever before. From ultra-slim 9mm micros to cutting-edge double-stack compacts, the race for the ultimate concealed carry weapon has never been more intense. But this year, things changed. 2025 brought a wave of new releases that redefine what we thought was possible in concealed carry design. Some of these handguns deliver near full-size performance in a pocketable frame, while others introduce technology we've never seen before in the EDC world. And today, we're counting down the top 5 concealed carry guns of 2025. The models that are turning heads, raising standards, and setting new benchmarks for everyday defense. Trust me, you'll want to stick around until the very end. Because number 1 is a true shocker. A gun that no one expected to rise to the throne. Yet, here it is, claiming the crown as the new king of concealed carry for 2025. 5. TISA's 1911 Carry B9R Double Stack. When you think of concealed carry pistols, the 1911 design probably isn't the first that comes to mind. It's a timeless platform, revered, powerful, but often seen as too heavy and too large for everyday carry. Well, TISA's decided to rewrite that narrative entirely. Meet the TISA's 1911 Carry B9R Double Stack, a modernized take on a century-old legend. This isn't your grandfather's 1911. This is a fighting pistol reborn for the 2025 concealed carry generation. The B9R features a 4.25-inch barrel, an optic cut slide, and an RMSC footprint, allowing you to mount your favorite micro red dot right out of the box. The double-stack magazine changes the game, giving you up to 15 rounds of 9mm firepower, all housed within a sleek, commander-length steel frame. That's the kind of balance that lets you carry a classic design, but with modern capacity and modern capability. TISA's didn't just stop at performance. The ambidextrous safety, precision-machined slide serrations, and fine checkering on the grip panels show a level of craftsmanship rarely seen at this price point. The trigger, crisp, consistent, and true to the 1911 legacy, makes this pistol not only beautiful to hold, but incredibly satisfying to shoot. Sure, it's a bit heavier than today's polymer micro-compacts, but that extra weight tames recoil beautifully. It's steady, controllable, and feels anchored in your hands, a trait most lightweight pistols can only dream of. For those who love the 1911's soul but demand modern practicality, the TISA's 1911 Carry B9R is an unexpected hero. It blends heritage, performance, and innovation in a way few other handguns in its price bracket can match. 4. Taurus GX2 2025. Don't let the price tag fool you. The Taurus GX2 is proof that modern concealed carry doesn't have to cost an arm and a leg. From the moment you pick one up, the GX2 feels deliberate. The polymer frame strikes a comfortable middle ground between slim concealability and a full enough grip to get two-handed control when it counts. Its 3.38-inch barrel and compact footprint make it easy to hide under a t-shirt or inside a compact IWB holster. Yet the grip length and backstrap geometry give you enough purchase to drive accurate follow-up shots. That manageability is the GX2's secret sauce. It's small enough to tuck away, but big enough to shoot confidently. On the range, the GX2 surprises a lot of shooters. The striker-fired trigger is clean for the class, with a short take-up and a positive reset that's more than competent for defensive work. Recoil is predictable and well-mannered thanks to the slide and frame design. And with 3-slot accessory rail, you can mount a light or laser without turning the gun into a brick. Sights are Glock-compatible, which may sound like a small detail, but it instantly widens your aftermarket options for holsters, sights, and other upgrades. For new shooters or budget-minded carriers, that ecosystem compatibility is worth its weight in gold. Ergonomics matter when you're carrying all day, and Taurus leaned into that. The GX2's grip texture is aggressive enough to keep the pistol from shifting under recoil, yet not so abrasive that it chews through shirt material. Controls are intuitive. Slide serrations are usable even with gloves. The takedown lever simplifies maintenance, and the included 2 magazines, one flush, one extended, let you tailor concealment versus capacity on the fly. Add an external manual safety option for those who want an extra layer of assurance, and you've got a package that respects both modern carry philosophy and old-school preferences. Of course, no pistol is perfect. The GX2 won't win any awards for being the tiniest micro-compact, and competitive carry models may beat it at the scale-for-scale concealability game. The trigger, while solid, doesn't quite match the refined pulls of higher-tier striker-fired pistols. But for the shooter who prioritizes value, versatility, and dependability, the GX2 delivers a remarkably complete experience for its market segment. It's a practical, no-nonsense carry gun that punches above its price class. An ideal choice for first-time carriers, budget-conscious enthusiasts, or anyone who wants a modern, reliable EDC without unnecessary frills. 3. Kimber CDS9 Micro Compact. When Kimber reintroduced a Micro 1911 style platform tuned for modern carry, a lot of people raised an eyebrow. Then a lot more people started ordering one. The CDS9 blends classic single-action feel with a compact, high-capacity modern package. And the result is a pistol that shoots like a full-size gun while staying comfortably in micro-compact territory. It's the kind of design that forces you to rethink what small but shootable actually means. Under the hood, the CDS9 carries surprising hardware for its size. The non-threaded models use a 3.18-inch barrel, with longer threaded variants available, and the pistol weighs in around 20.8 ounces unloaded. Numbers that translate to a controllable, confidence-inspiring recoil impulse for most shooters. Kimber ships the CDS9 with a selection of magazines. Flush and extended 13 and 15 round options are common. Ambidextrous controls. An optics-ready slide cut in RMSC footprint, and an accessory rail for a small light. Features usually reserved for larger defense pistols. Those details push the CDS9 into a category of micro-pistols that refuse to compromise on capability. But numbers only tell part of the story. On the range, the CDS9's single-action, flat-faced trigger and heavier metal frame come together to produce a shooting experience that's unusually refined for a micro. The aluminum frame and steel slide dampen sharpness, letting the shooter work follow-up shots with less muzzle hop and more precision than typical polymer micro-compacts. Ergonomically, Kimber leaned into practical carry. Checkered grip panels, usable serrations, and well-placed controls make fast, instinctive manipulation feel natural rather than cramped. No gun is without compromise. The CDS9 sits at a higher price point than many polymer micro-pistols, and its all-metal construction means it won't be the lightest option in an ultra-concealment wardrobe. Also, while the optics-ready slide is a huge plus for modern shooters, It adds complexity and cost if you plan to run a red dot and holster setup immediately. That said, if your priority is shootability and real-world controllability in something you can still carry daily, the CDS9 delivers a premium-feeling solution that's rare in this size class. In short, the Kimber CDS9 earns the number 3 spot because it gives you the best of both worlds: a micro footprint with full-sized manners. For viewers who value accuracy, a crisp single-action trigger, and the ability to mount optics without sacrificing concealability, the CDS9 is one of 2025's most compelling new carry options. It's classy, capable, and a little bit unexpected, which is exactly the sort of gun that belongs in the middle of a crown-worthy countdown. 2. Canik Meet MC9 Prime 2025. Canik's Meet MC9 Prime arrived in 2025 with a bold promise: full-size performance in a carry-sized package. At roughly 6.73 inches overall, with a 3.64-inch compensated barrel and an unloaded weight near 23 to 24 ounces, the Prime packs a 17+1 capacity into a platform that still hides reasonably well for daily carry. Optics ready from the factory and often bundled with tritium night sights, it immediately felt like a serious contender rather than a compromise. On the range, the Prime doesn't play small. The integrally compensated slide and ported barrel noticeably reduce muzzle flip, and paired with Canik's flat, diamond-cut trigger, the pistol encourages fast, accurate follow-ups uncommon in its size class. Shooters consistently report a controllable recoil impulse and an ability to string shots faster than they expected from a micro-compact, traits that translate directly to defensive confidence. Ergonomics are thoughtfully executed: aggressive but comfortable stippling, interchangeable back straps, a low-profile flared mag well, and usable slide serrations make handling intuitive under stress. The included two 17-round magazines give you options for deep or compact carry, and the factory bundles, often including a holster and red dot option, mean many buyers can be carry-ready straight from the box. There are trade-offs. The Prime is larger and heavier than the tiniest subcompacts, so true deep concealers may prefer smaller footprints for t-shirt carry. The integrally compensated design also alters muzzle blast and flash characteristics, so training with your chosen loads and concealment setups is essential to understand real-world behavior. Price sits in the mid to upper range of carry pistols, reflecting the extra features and performance. Bottom line, the Canik Meet MC9 Prime is a near-perfect compromise for carriers who want capacity, controllability, and optics compatibility without stepping up to a full-size duty gun. It earns the number 2 slot because it delivers real-world performance that surprises, with ergonomics and out-of-the-box readiness that make it an outstanding choice for everyday defensive carry. 1. Kel-Tec PR57. The one that will shock you. When you think the concealed carry market has settled into a predictable rhythm of iterative upgrades, something like the Kel-Tec PR57 crashes the party. At first glance, it looks like a bargain basement oddity, unconventional, almost experimental. But spend 10 minutes with one, and the shock turns to respect. The PR57's headline is impossible to ignore. A 5.7 by 28-ish concept in a compact polymer package that pushes capacity and novelty into a form factor you can actually carry. That combo is exactly why this pistol earns the crown, and why so many people on the range said, "Wait, this one's different." On the range, the PR57's character shows up fast. The gun's ergonomics favor a long, flat grip that takes higher capacity magazines with ease, giving you a reload advantage most micro-compact pistols simply can't match. Recoil is managed in part through the cartridge choice, and in part through the PR-57's chassis design. Muzzle flip is pleasantly subdued, and follow-ups come quicker than the gun's looks would suggest. Trigger feel is serviceable for defensive work, predictable, with a clean break that supports fast, accurate strings when you focus on fundamentals. In short, it shoots like a pistol that knows what it wants to be. Not a gimmick, but a designed alternate path for CCW. What really makes the PR-57 shocking is how it reframes trade-offs. Instead of the usual compromise, capacity versus concealability, or power versus shootability, the PR-57 leans into a different set of compromises that make sense for a particular kind of carrier. You gain extra rounds and controllability without ballooning to a duty-size platform. You accept a slightly different ballistic profile in exchange for a light, compact package that's still practical for daily wear. For content and conversation, that's gold. The PR-57 challenges assumptions and forces a serious discussion about what best actually means for concealed carry in 2025. Of course, no crown is flawless. The PR-57's unusual cartridge options and magazine design mean holster and ammo selection require a bit more homework than a Glock or SIG. Some shooters may find the grip geometry unfamiliar at first, and deep concealment in ultralight clothing will still favor the smallest micro-compacts. Reliability in the real world hinges on running a range of quality loads and ensuring your chosen magazines and holsters are built for this platform. But these are practical caveats, not deal-breakers, and none of them eclipse the real upside. A carry tool that brings capacity and controllability into a package most people didn't expect. If you're deciding between the short list of modern carry candidates, compare the PR-57 to the MC9 Prime and CDS9 like this. The Canic aims to be a performance-balanced micro with duty-like ergonomics. The Kimber prioritizes shootability and single-action finesse, while the Kel-Tec's PR-57 flips the script with novelty, capacity, and a fresh approach to what concealed carry can be. For viewers hungry for something that breaks the mold, something to test, argue about, and ultimately carry, the PR-57 is the gun that will shock you, then make a compelling case for itself. Final verdict: the Kel-Tec PR-57 earns the #1 spot, not because it's the safest bet, but because it's the most influential surprise of 2025. A pistol that forces the concealed carry conversation forward. If you want to carry what's next, rather than what's tried and true, this is the crown to try on.